Today I'm making buttermilk biscuits, and these are the things we're going to need. Baking powder, salt, flour, and sugar. We're going to need a big mixing bowl, a sifter, a big tablespoon cup, 1 teaspoon, and 1 tablespoon of this, and 2.5 cups of this. We're also going to be needing butter and buttermilk. We're going to be using the flour and 2.5 cups of this, and we're going to be using 5 scoops of flour into your sifter. Getting kind of low on this. We're gonna be using the baking powder next. We're gonna be using the spoon side, and we're gonna be using our 1 tablespoon. How many? So we're going to be using 2 of these. This is kind of hard because it doesn't have a scrape thing, but still kind of easy since it's powder. Done 1. Now our second. I have hiccups. 2. Now we're done. We're going to be using our sugar next and our 1 tablespoon, teaspoon. For our sugar. You can use any sugar, but I think the sugar that we're using now is the best type. This one is kind of hard, but for me it's easy. Now we're using our salt in the other side of this. Again, teaspoon. And make sure do not do any more of this salt because it will taste bad. And now we're going to be sifting it. So I'm just going to close this up and sift it. This is harder. It's harder than making pancakes this morning because I put a lot of hours in this. Be a bit easier. Trust me, this is hard, but once you get down low, it's a bit easier. Look at that mountain peak! My goodness, almost done. I'm just gonna do that, and now I'm gonna some more. This is really hard. I'm still going under it. I'm going to dump it. Look how much is left in there. I got 8 tablespoons of butter here. I'm going to cut it into chunks. I do not know if they're supposed to be thin or thick. I'm going to make them thin.
Chunks.
Okay.
Cubes.
I'm going to make them some cubes. This is kind of hard, so you may want a parent for help, but I don't. So now that I've put our flour in our mixes of flours into the food processor, I'm going to be putting the butter in. I do not know if it's by 1 or just dump it in.
Dump it in and spread it out.
You can also use your hand because butter might be a little tricky.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my hand because this butter is gonna be tricky to get in. It's like sticking and it's up high. Ow, that's a lot of butter. Okay, so we got all of our butter into there. Now we're gonna turn it on, but we're gonna put the lid on first. Do not forget this part. I almost forgot it, but good thing I didn't. I'm gonna pulse about 6 or 7 times. Make sure you're pressing the pulse button. Now that we're done pulsing, I'm gonna put it up to the 8 and the 1. They're on opposite sides of our measuring cup. And we're gonna be doing it with buttermilk. Not any old milk, we're gonna have to do it with buttermilk. This may be a bit hard. I don't know. I'm watching. Done. Just a little on the numbers, but that should be fine. Now we stir with a fork. First we gotta dump it in. We do not want a big buttermilk mess. That should be good. A lot of drips. Now I'm gonna stir it. Remember, stir with fork. Do not stir with a spoon. And stir until a ball. Wow, this is hard to mix. This buttermilk in it. And do not add any more buttermilk if you think it's easy to mix. You do not want to over butter it. Now that I'm done mixing, I'm going to flour the surface, and I'm going to warn you, it sticks pretty good. So I'm just going to put this aside, and I don't know if I'm going to dump it. Yeah, I'll just pick it up with my hands. Good thing I'm wearing an apron. And we have my rolling pin as well, but I'm going to be using my hands. I don't know why. I should be using the rolling pin, but I don't want to. It does not matter how you mix. It does not matter how you spread it. Just you want to spread it good. Like, now we're done. I'm just going to do that a bit. Done. I'm done with the flour. Now that's for sure. Put that aside. Now dump this. First, I'm gonna wash off my hands on here like it's snowing. And now I'm gonna dump this in. Goodness, look at that ginormous piece of buttermilk and mix it. Now I've got this right here. I'm just gonna use my hands to get it over in the middle. It looks kind of like pizza dough I made in one of my previous videos. Yeah, it definitely looks like that pizza dough I made in my previous video. It is fun to play with, actually. I'm going to roll it flat, then fold it, then roll some more. This is going to be hard. But it might be easy if you're 6 like me. But for some people who are like 5, or even if you're like 4 watching, this will be hard for you. Just kind of press it and just let it roll on its own like a wheel. Now, since it's breaking up, I'm gonna fold it. Wow, now I'm gonna roll some more. But I'm just also gonna turn it. And then I think that will be good. Okay, I've rolled up my flour. Now make sure it's close to the edges and cut out circles. So that's, oh my goodness, one. These are hard to pick up. Warning, these are hard to pick up. And just kind of do that and use that for access in case we need any extra. So in case we need an extra, I'm just putting that bit that doesn't work over there. It's 3. So how far I got was 4, but I'm gonna try more. Yeah, I'm gonna try more because I still have a lot of access. I'm gonna need my rolling pin. Now that I've rolled out my excess flour, I'm going to cut this. You may have noticed I did cutesy wootsy face at the start. I think that's kind of funny. So now I got my first access circle out. Just gonna make another circle and see how much I can get out of it. That would be a good time for that access dough. There's just a tiny bit cut off of there. So I'm gonna take some of that and put it in to fill in. Just press it in. You see that tiny bit that I added on? Let's peel off that access dough. Look at my playing with Play-Doh. This is so cool. Play-Doh, Play-Doh. Put this in, and since we can only make one out of this, I'm going to use this. And we can't make anything else with this access dough, so I'm just going to play with it in my hands. So, now that I've made all my circles, I just made one out of my hands right here. I'm going to put them in the lower oven. They are kind of heavy for me. They may be heavy for some of my, I think,
Viewers.
like 4-year-old fans. So, just gonna put this in. And be careful, because this will be hot. Very hot.